Russia's the biggest country in the world. There are many native speakers. It's the key to Eastern Europe. It can improve your job opportunities. These are all reasons that we normally hear why we should learn Russian. If someone's being a little more creative, you could say, so you can read the literature in its native language. Some people will even go as far as to tell you there are many beautiful girls there. But today I want to talk about a reason that I think right now is the number one reason that you should learn Russian, or that you should be paying attention to what's happened in the Russian speaking world if you're interested in Russian. So, what's up? My name is Mark, and this is Language Come Up, a channel where I come up and you do too. So, let's get right into it. In the past couple of weeks, so much has been going on in the Russian speaking world. So, a couple of weeks ago, the president of Belarus re-won the election, and this guy has been in office since 1994. So, to put that into perspective, Putin has been in office since the very end of the 90s, and the president of Belarus has been in office even longer. So, basically, they said he won in the landslide, and the people of Belarus have finally had enough, and they are taken to the streets. They are protesting. They're asking for this guy to step down. And meanwhile, in Russia, not so long ago, just a week or so ago, not even that, the leader of the opposition party was poisoned. And this man made a lot of documentaries and had a show basically where he talked about the corruption in Russia. So clearly he had a lot of enemies. And what was most interesting for me is that I've always thought that this guy is the one safe guy, because if something were to happen to him, there would be just kind of madness in Russia. People, I think, would just get tired of it, just like how in Belarus the same situation is happening now. And no one knows really what happened. Of course, people are going to point their finger to the Kremlin or Putin-related things, you know. So if you're learning Russian right now, it's a super, super interesting time, because I think in these places we're on the verge of history. And what could be more exciting than being a witness of history while learning this awesome language? So I remember thinking one of the most interesting things about me wanting to learn Russian is the idea of what will happen with Putin in the future. I kind of want to follow these events when they come. For example, imagine if Putin just steps down, what will happen to Russia after that? I'm super fascinated to find out. And we've we've been having these experiences, we've been having these events that are really shaking the Russian speaking world right now, and it's super super interesting to follow. So, in terms of historical perspective, it's awesome. So I can completely get not wanting to listen to the news or watch the news in a foreign language, because you don't really do that in your native language. I mean, lots of people have stopped watching the news, let's be honest. And I completely get that. But it's not just like the news. Like there was an accident on out on the highway. We're talking about history in the making. So if this isn't a good reason to learn Russian, then I don't know what is. All right, so I just wanted to talk about that for a second. So last week, as you know, I made this video where I kind of proposed the idea that if I really did lose my Native American English accents, I just want to comment a little bit on that. I've been living in Mexico 6 years. Although I speak a lot of English because I'm an English teacher, I do recognize being outside of the States, my way of speaking may have changed to some extent. Where I draw the line is that I've somehow become a non-native speaker of my native language. I think that's going a little too far, but that's just me. So, you know, usually when I do these videos or I have the option just like to say things in like kind of a Spanish way. And I wanted to comment, although I try not to do it, but I just wanted to make a little comment about that, you know? So the more languages we learn or the deeper we get into one language, our mind really is changing. We're adopting new structures, new ways to communicate ideas, and that's just the way it is. So I, for one, have tried to read less in English in favor of reading in Russian. Um, I need to start reading a bit more in Spanish again, but I spend so much time with English that I really try to up the other languages. But, you know, this is just something that just happens. So, one of the interesting things about my past week of language learning is I started kind of like a formal course. You know, this is a course that everyone's seen. The essence of it is just for me to get some kind of a clear understanding of Russian grammar to kind of bring some things in the forefront, bring up to the forefront that I may have missed, um, just doing my natural way of studying that I've been doing, right? So the author is a guy named Nicholas Brown. He's an Englishman, and it's clear that he knows a lot about Russian. He even is married to a Russian woman. And I was going through this and I noticed something super interesting, right? So I'm going to read you his sentence, and if you're a native speaker of English, then you're going to see the mistake here. All right? So he says, it is worth going through these lists twice since you will meet all these useful words again. All right? Where's the part that doesn't belong? That you will meet these words. Okay? So if you've spoken to any Russian for a period of 10 minutes or more, you're going to know that they use this meet in a way where we would say see. All right? So they're going to say, oh, you're going to meet these words over and over. So that's just a part of how they express themselves in Russian. So this author is a native English speaker. And even in his official book, the same things happen to him. So I'm surprised that wasn't edited out, but I still found it interesting because, I'm going through this moment where I'm analyzing my own English and things like that, and realizing that as well as I speak it, the influence the influence from the other languages are there, and I can even notice it in Spanish. When my girlfriend was here earlier, I was, first of all, when I was going to say some numbers like two, um, it took me a second to think of dos because dva in Russian came before it. I had to wait. Okay, right, dos, of course. And just like 20 minutes ago, the same thing happened to me where I was speaking with her in Spanish and I said the word dollar, right? So it was like kind of in between, like it was more like the Russian way. I had to think, wait, how do you say that like Spanish style? All right, so learning foreign languages does have a consequence on your native language, but this is something that I will willingly take. I will do this and I will love it because, whatever little missing pieces I may have for not living in the States, I'll go back there and within a very short amount of time, everything will start coming back. All right? So, it's just a fact of life, but learning these foreign languages is completely worth it. All right, so that's what I wanted to say about that. So, what else was up in my week in life and language learning? I saw a super awesome movie called Russian Ark, and it was really, really entertaining. It was about a French diplomat who basically like travels through time in one of Russia's most important museums, and he's like a very quirky guy, and nothing pleases him. But it's really cool because in this movie it goes through kind of like different periods of Russian history, and you can see people from the 1700s, the 1800s, and the 1900s. Really has great humor. I liked it a lot. So my studies went pretty well. I would say they've been pretty consistent in the last 3 weeks. My classes as well. So I'm going to be starting a series where I I load one of my speaking sessions every time a month. Every once a month, I'm going to be loading it on the YouTube. On the YouTube, and instead of doing the whole every 6 months look at my progress, here's a 5 minute video of me speaking. I'm going to be loading a 30-minute video of me speaking Russian, and it's going to be really showing you the struggles of the learning process because you just speaking for 5 minutes or whatever, it's much easier than interacting, seeing what the other person's hearing what the other person is saying, responding, getting everything right. And I did this today, and I gotta admit I was quite nervous, and it caused my speaking to go down. It caused my comprehension to go down, and it was the first time I really used Zoom, especially at recording something. And I think what happened was it recorded it like when I'm talking, it shows me, but when the other person's talking, it shows them. I figured it would just be like Skype, where it'd have, both of the people lined just side by side. So I'm gonna probably have to fix that, unless for some reason it's awesome the way it is, which I not imagine it's like that. So yeah, that's all I have for you this week. Tell me, how's everything been going in your language studies? What's been going on? So go ahead and give this video a like, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not. We'll see you very soon, and all the best.